goodbye. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. We're about to go do something that we haven't done in a very long time. We're gonna go buy a vehicle. I'm gonna be taking this silver Mazda 3 and Aubrey's gonna be taking that car to the lot. So today we're actually on our way to go look at something a little bit different than what we're actually used to. Not only is it an electric vehicle, it's a fully electric vehicle. We're looking at a 2021 Tesla Model 3, but not just any ordinary one. We're looking at the performance. More power, baby! Introducing our 29th vehicle to our fleet, our 2021 Tesla Model 3 Performance. Now everyone knows what a Tesla is, but let's do a quick tour. Now this Model 3 Performance is the top trim for the Model 3, which means it comes with all the cool accoutrements plus a little bit extra, like big old 20-inch wheels and some nice Pirelli sticky tires. This particular vehicle, like my GT500, does have a clear bra wrap on the front of it, which is good and bad. Good in the sense that it protects the vehicle from rock chips. The bad is that if it already has damage like this one does, it's kind of expensive to replace a big portion of it. And lastly, on the back, the Model 3 Performances do come with this nice carbon fiber spoiler, which is super nice. Now, we did buy this car used from Facebook Marketplace like most of our vehicles, and it does have a bit of imperfections, like the super cool, super nice spoiler. And this isn't so much a really terrible issue. It does need to be sanded and refinished. That's probably the extent of the spoiler, and the nice part is, if that doesn't work when I try to do it, I can just buy a brand new one because it's just held on with some 3M vinyl tape. It does have a little door ding right here. And while the clear bra wrap is a huge plus, it is kind of coming up right here on the front headlight, and you can kind of see a lot of the dirt that's getting underneath the clear bra wrap right here. And in various other places on the edges of the clear bra. My GT500 is pretty much the same. And lastly, this rear taillight right here is broken. It just doesn't work. Just the outside portion of it. We'll show you on the other side here in a second. The braking part does work, so it's really only illegal whenever the trunk is open and this taillight needs to be on. But other than that, legal. Fortunately, our brother-in-law, Aubrey's sister's fiance, actually works for a third-party parts seller, and they sell old used parts. And thankfully, Tesla drivers can't drive that well. And there's a bunch of broken ones sitting everywhere, and he's got a bunch of pieces for this vehicle. So we got one coming for free. Now, getting inside, this interior is black, and I absolutely love the interior because the only other option is white. And something about a white-on-white car screams 1980s Coke dealer.
I did not want the white interior.
Yeah, Aubrey would not approve of the white. And honestly, I have some stinky days and I don't want to leave a skid mark on a sweaty one. Further that, there's not a whole lot going on the interior of this vehicle. Arguably, the Volvo has a lot more going on than this vehicle. It's kind of just plain Jane. There's your screen, there's your steering wheel, and then you go.
You could argue the Toyota Yaris's have more going on.
Honestly, yeah, seriously.
Certainly the Lincoln, which has like a million buttons.
Oh my god, yeah, that's kind of the extent of it, is like way too many buttons. This is the exact opposite, too little. And honestly, this interior is actually really mint condition, aside from just the generic Model 3 issues, and we'll talk about those in a second, but this thing really doesn't look like it's been all that used, and I think that's a testament to, one, it's not that old, and two, it has this vegan synthetic leather, and it holds up really well, especially compared to our Lincoln Navigator, which, in fairness, is 3 years older than this vehicle, but even the back seats have a little bit of leather cracking. This thing just looks flawless. Now, if you're not familiar with Teslas, they actually have a lot of cool features. Wireless charging, quick charging USB ports for the front and the rear. Some also cool things it does have is like rear heated seats and front heated seats. And not just the outboard seats, all 3 seats in the back have 3 levels of heat, just like the fronts do, which is kind of unique. One downside, no cooled seats, which is kind of weird, but I guess you don't need it if a car maintains the temperature in the cabin at almost all times. And Teslas are known for being relatively safe. It does have all the cool autopilot features in this specific model with the full self-driving. Well, kind of. You have to pay an additional $12,000 for the full self-driving, but this one does do all the steering, adaptive cruise control, just like our Navigator does, but this one just seems a bit more safe.
I feel like this one is pretty well ahead of the Navigator.
Yeah, definitely. It's a smaller car too, so I think you wouldn't want to trust it.
Does the Navigator steer?
Actually, you're right, it doesn't. It just bumps you back in the lane.
Yeah.
Lame.
That's way different.
Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh.
But this does not have the full self-driving. So like,
Yeah.
you can't summon it. It doesn't do like that
Yeah,
stuff.
you can't make your car come to you in a parking lot, which is kind of gimmicky, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how fast it would do it, so.
You don't need that if you don't go anywhere like me.
Yeah. Now you might be thinking to yourself, what in the heck are we thinking? This is not in our wheelhouse of vehicles that we typically choose for Turo. And that's because this is actually only gonna be on Turo part-time. This is Aubrey's new daily driver. Aubrey's been driving her 1997 Toyota 4Runner since she was 16 years old. And honestly, even with all the repairs and modifications that we can do to it, that car is too hot to be driving in Texas summers, which is why we got this. Truthfully, this car isn't really gonna be listed on Turo all that much. We're actually just gonna list it for a very brief period of time because we wanna see what it's like owning an EV and putting it on Turo and the logistics with that. So let's dig into the stats of how much we paid for this vehicle and what all the details are. It's a 2021 Model 3 Performance, and given that Tesla's had a lot of ups and downs with their prices, we got this amazing car with only 52,000-ish miles for $27,000. Oh wait, no, we negotiated another $1,000 off of that, $26,000. Isn't that crazy? For a top trim Model 3 Performance, that's wild. Now it's crazy because we're actually looking to buy this exact vehicle or a trim below the long range model, so not even the cool fast one with the cool carbon fiber and whatnot, for about $35,000 this time last year. We decided to hold off because that's kind of a lot of cheddar to spend, but when we saw we could buy one in the 20s, we had to pull the trigger. Now, Aubrey just financed the Lincoln in her name, and I had the Shelby in my name, so we just decided to pay cash for this car. And there you guys have it. There's the introduction for this Model 3 Performance. We'll keep you guys updated as to how it ends up performing on Turo and how we end up liking it as time progresses and as we start getting into these really hot summer months. As always, guys, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And we'll see you in the next episode.